After leaving Kevin, Drew went across the street. He saw Shannon working on her jack-o'-lantern. She was gluing glitter, buttons, and all kinds of shiny things to her pumpkin. "It's so shiny and pretty," thought Drew. "I wish I had thought of using glitter and buttons on mine. Now I have to think of another way to decorate my pumpkin, or I'll be a copycat." "I'll never get this done in time," said Shannon. "What are you doing?" asked Drew. "Don't look," said Shannon. "It's going to be a surprise. You'll get to see it at the party." "Everyone else has a good idea," thought Drew to himself. He looked at his pumpkin. It looked so small and lopsided, the brown spots made it look ugly. Drew couldn't think of any ideas, so he went out and walked some more. "What am I going to do?" he thought, walking through his neighborhood. "How can I do better than Corey's orange lights, or Kevin's scarecrow, or Shannon's decorated pumpkin? Time is running out, and I need to turn my pumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern soon." Drew found himself walking past Mr. Jackson's house. "Hello, Drew," Mr. Jackson said. "What's up?" asked Mr. Jackson. "Well," said Drew, "everyone has a great idea for the jack-o'-lantern contest except me. Everyone else has lights and neat stuff. I can't think of anything to do for my jack-o'-lantern." "Don't worry about anyone else," said Mr. Jackson. "Just remember that sometimes simple is best." Said Drew, rubbing his chin. "I still can't think of anything to do for my jack-o'-lantern." "Well," said Mr. Jackson, "what is the first thing you think of at Halloween time every year?" "I think of ghosts," said Drew, "and spiders and witches and jack-o'-lanterns with scary faces." "There you go," said Mr. Jackson. "Maybe that's all you need to do. Carve a scary face into the pumpkin." Drew thought about Mr. Jackson's words. "Okay," he said, "I'll carve a scary face into my jack-o'-lantern." As fast as he could, Drew ran home. He put his pumpkin on the picnic table in the backyard. Drew closed his eyes and thought of what a jack-o'-lantern looked like. "I got it," he said. Then he took a big black marker and drew a scary face on the pumpkin. He decided to use the brown spots as eyebrows for his jack-o'-lantern. Then Drew asked his dad to help him carve out the face he had made. His dad took a knife and cut out the insides of the pumpkin. Then he cut out the eyes and mouth. "Thanks, Dad," said Drew. Then Drew's mom helped him light a candle and put it inside the jack-o'-lantern. "You are now an official jack-o'-lantern," said Drew. Soon it was time for the Halloween party. Everyone brought their jack-o'-lanterns to Mr. Jackson's house. "Time for the best jack-o'-lantern contest," said Mr. Jackson. He looked at all the projects that the children had worked on. Corey had fixed the orange lights and his pumpkin glowed. Kevin had gotten his scarecrow all set up again. Now it had a smiley face. Shannon's jack-o'-lantern glittered and sparkled. Drew's jack-o'-lantern didn't have any fancy lights or decorations on it. It only had a scary face with candlelight pouring out of the eyes and mouth. After a while, Mr. Jackson said, "Okay, I've made my decision." The brightest jack-o'-lantern goes to Corey. The funniest jack-o'-lantern goes to Kevin. The prettiest jack-o'-lantern goes to Shannon. The best jack-o'-lantern, said Mr. Jackson, is the scariest one, and first place goes to Drew. Wow, it is scary, said Corey and Shannon. Now that's a jack-o'-lantern, Kevin said. Let's eat, said Mr. Jackson. What do you eat at Halloween parties? Asked Drew. What else? Said Mr. Jackson. Pumpkin pie.